So I'm delighted to be here as chair of the panel. I'm an in-house lawyer with a technical and IP background. My business, probably many of you will not have heard of, it's about 15,000 employees around the globe, and our turnover is about 4 billion, and we're in the business of data, so internet, committee stuff is right up my street. I've got some excellent panellists to talk to you in a moment, and I really encourage you at the end of the session during question and answers to ask questions. These are people who will have answers for you. So many of you may have the reaction when you see the title. You might think, what's a TLA? Three-letter acronym. And of course, that's the problem with the title of this talk. It's already littered with them, which makes you think this is probably a confusing subject. Don't let us put you off. So for those of you that don't know, ICANN is this body. You have to think of it as being a bit like the government of the internet. Government in the sense of it makes sure that the roads work, the bins get collected. gTLD. Very important acronym. Generic top-level domain. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this language, what is this? Well, it's not a country code domain. It's not like .co.uk or .de. .com is your best known example of the gTLD. But there are also a bunch of other gTLDs that have existed from the very beginning. You may know some of these. Some of them perhaps you don't see so often, like ARPA. And then since ICANN came into existence, there's been a bunch of other top-level domains created. And again, you may be familiar with these. Some of these may in fact be a surprise to you. And not long ago, ICANN approved the introduction of another top-level domain. So you may be asking yourself, what is all this top-level domain stuff? Concerned about it. You may be delighted about it. So ICANN is opening the door for a whole new world of domain name issues. It's opening the door for organisations to apply to run a top-level domain. This is not like registering a domain, something.com. It's about running the equivalent of a .com. So you can imagine what we might be seeing when they open these doors. We may see geographic domains like this. We already know that people are going to be applying to run .London and .New York. These are all examples I'm making up, by the way. But we might see other generic domains appear. You can almost imagine any word could be a domain. And if someone thinks it's a case for people wanting a domain name in that space, you might imagine that we're going to see it. We might get people applying for family names. Who knows, maybe there's a market for everyone who's got Mills as a surname. We might see contentious stuff appear. We might see brands appear. But can you imagine, at the moment we've got 20 odd top-level domains, what will the internet be like? What will the web be like if there are 900 top-level domains? What does that mean for you if you're looking after infringement issues on the internet? What does it mean for you if you work for marketing people who think this is a fantastic opportunity? So in general, there are going to be two types of top-level domain that people can apply for. This isn't quite the language of the process, but it's the way I'm trying to simplify it. There's going to this is going to be where, if you run this top-level domain, you will allow anyone to register in that space, a bit like anyone can register something.com. No restrictions. On the other hand, there may be closed domains. Domains that are based around the concept of some sort of community. These will be domains which might be limited to a brand, for example. Or, for example, the new XXX domain is limited to businesses that are in the adult entertainment industry. You can imagine .bank being something that runs that way. However, you can also imagine that however it works out, we're going to be faced with a lot of battles. And we're also going to be faced with a lot of people sitting around at the edge, waiting to see what happens. So again, here's a couple of examples I've just made up of the type of things that we might see. What if insurance companies got together and registered, applied to run .insurance? What happens if someone got together a bunch of people in Zurich to run a .Zurich? Who's going to have an issue there? What about fruit, for example? That's just sort of touching the tip of the iceberg, really. So maybe you think, this is crazy. What the hell's going on here? Maybe you think it's a world of opportunity to seek more work from your clients. Whatever you think this is going to happen. I know quite a lot of people feel like they want to cry about this. Maybe you didn't realise what was happening and you've just heard this for the first time and you've gone, so the thing is, the world is going to change forever. Those sort of things are disappearing pretty rapidly. Now, I'm delighted to have on the panel with me here 3 people who can explain a little bit more about what's going on. Olaf is from ICANN. He's the Director of Service Relations. He's based in Brussels. We have Adam from Trademark World Review. And he writes blogs and tweets about trademarks and has been closely following the gTLD developments. He's going to talk to you about some of the stuff he's been looking at from a reporter's point of view. And then lastly, but by no means least, we have got Anju from WIPO, who heads the legal development section in the arbitration and mediation centre, and she's been a key commentator on the developments in the programme to launch these new domains and about the rights protection mechanisms. And then at the end we're going to have a question and answer session. So please listen, write down your questions, save them up to the end, and I'm going to hand over now to Olaf.